In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this Wednesday, April 9th, 2025 meeting of the Franklin Township Trails Advisory Committee posted on the Township's website and electronically transmitted to the officially designated newspapers, indicating that this meeting would take place at the municipal building at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 9th, 2025.
All right, you want me to do the roll call?
Please.
Okay, Vanessa Jones.
Present.
Anne Marie Orleski.
Present.
Chris Gonda is not going to be here tonight. He let me know that already. Jim Kolgowski.
Here.
Nasha Patel.
Present.
Robert Kovacs.
Present.
Prakash Lal.
Here.
And I think that is it, right? Oh, Councilman Karazi also is not going to make it tonight.
Okay. Okay. So now we do not have the minutes, so we'll have to post both of those for our next meeting.
Yeah, and I think the prior minutes we don't have as well, right?
Last 3 months.
2 months? 3 months?
3 months, I guess.
This is January, February,
Jan,
March.
Feb, and March.
So I don't know if we have
So
January.
now
We don't know. So.
Now
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me think. I didn't do any minutes, right? I'm just trying to think if I did any
There was
minutes.
one that I think, I don't remember.
I think I might have done some minutes now that I think about it.
You were doing minutes.
Oh, wait, did I do them last time?
No, you was not there last time. Remember?
This was
you,
here.
Last time he was
wait, that was-
here.
You were very few of us were there.
At the
virtual
last meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, I did do the February minutes. I remember, as soon as I said it, I'm like, wait, but I didn't print them out, and I don't have access to the printer. I could leave them on the screen if you don't want to, and you can read them real quick, or we can just table them. It's up to you guys. I'm sorry, I should have printed those out, but I forgot I wrote them.
You're pretty busy. So.
Review it, like, yeah, it's probably better to review it on the screen and just get it approved, because,
Well, Jim's our eagle eye minutes.
Yeah,
Is it okay to do it this way for you?
it's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. I can see. I think.
Well, you're the sure thing.
Yeah, the spelling of the "it" is wrong, or what, you know.
Scroll up, Tara.
Scroll up or down?
We'll scroll so we can see the rest of
Oh,
the
okay, I wasn't sure if you were ready yet, okay. How's that?
Is that okay with you guys?
Go down?
Or two of the benches.
All trails. I still need to read that one.
maybe the weather,
Okay, scroll down. So at least we'll have 1 minute up.
complete as far as I remember, I don't see any mistakes.
The adjournment time.
Oh, the adjournment time is missing.
Oh, that's 48.
And this has to be this too, okay. I'm guessing it was probably 8:48. Okay. It wouldn't have been 9:48.
You guys finished that one, that's one I missed, right? You finished early, you told me?
We were done.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 7:48.
Yeah, I think it was 7:40.
So, yeah, you went through.
All good?
Good. I'm good with it.
All right, so we just need the motion to approve and post them and whatnot.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Favor.
Hearing no abstentions or nays, motion carries. So February is,
Yeah.
So Anne Marie, you did the first, right? I'm sorry, I gotta take the minutes.
Robert was first, Marie second.
Okay.
You got a haircut since I last saw you.
I got a haircut this morning.
Got it.
This afternoon.
Okay.
okay. So we need January and March.
Yeah.
And so the minutes for today, how do we want to handle that?
I'll take them because I have my notes, so I can do it.
Okay, thank you. There's nobody from the public, so we'll skip that for now.
Yep.
And site plan review.
No site plan review. We actually just, the EC did some site plan review on Monday night, but it was nothing that would pertain, so.
Moving on to new business. National Trails Day planning, June 7th.
So National Trails Day is June 7th. And so I figured we probably want to start at least maybe thinking about where and what to do, just to kind of get it going. So last year it was at Bunker Hill, right? And we
that's
worked
right.
with the watershed ambassador. She did those games.
Yes.
The watershed ambassador, I think that she is done now, and another one is coming in. I haven't really had any contact with them, but I know the Environmental Commission is always looking to work with people, so I don't know if you want to try and partner with them, or if you want to just think about where for now and then what later.
Yeah.
Up to you all.
Where's good?
So we had it at Bunker Hill. Actually, let me get the file out. We had it at Bunker Hill last year. The year before was, I don't know if anyone remembers off the top of their
I
head.
think it was at Bunker Hill Center. Bunker.
Oh, right,
The
Bunker Hill Environmental Center.
Environmental Center, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we did frisbee golf.
I remember that.
National Trails Saudi 2024, 2022 was where? Let's remember. I think it might have been at Negri Napodi. Yep, Negri Napodi. So the last 3 years it's been Negri Napodi, Bunker Hill Environmental
What year
Center.
was this one you just looked at?
2022.
What was 23?
23 was Bunker Hill Environmental Center, and then 24 was Bunker Hill Natural Area. Let's just see what 2021 was. Was it at Bunker Hill too? Let's see.
Is that a Middle Bush?
It was at Bunker Hill,
It was, I
yeah.
think-
Okay.
Wow, okay.
They started at the Franklin Park side. I don't know.
Maybe we did, yeah.
I think we started at Franklin Park.
The last, and I have 2020, that's the furthest back. It looks like that was the year we tried to do it at 6 Mile Run maybe, or DNR, because I have a permit request in for that, yeah.
I think we did one by the canal.
Yeah, Chuck led that.
Yeah.
So we haven't in the last few years, we have not done it at, let me just double check. Oh yeah, the 2023 was when we did it at Bunker Hill Environmental Center and John Clyde. That was the year we did
Yeah,
too.
we had those.
Oh,
Yeah, so we haven't done it at Inman, we haven't done it at Franklin Park recently, we haven't done it at, Butler Road, which is kind of a hard one though to do.
Yeah.
Middle Bush Park, we haven't done anything there, haven't done anything, so, yeah. Could go to Inman, we haven't done Inman. We could go to David Williams Park. I mean, that trail is not, it's kind of hard for trails day. It's not like a typical,
Yeah.
but. Actually, we just did the walk there too, or we're gonna do the
We're
walk.
gonna do a walk
Yeah.
there.
So,
What about the one on a Jack Lane from South Middle Bush Road, Jack Lane? If they have a
That's
nice
6
large
mile run.
parking, that's a 6 mile run,
Yeah,
right?
that's, I would love to.
It's a really good one.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can do it
It's
there.
really big enough, you know,
Yes.
to accommodate more cars.
We can do it there, but what was the limit? Now I can't remember for the permit. Do you remember?
Well, I know for the tow path, he said it was like 20.
20. So if we go above 20 people, technically we need a permit. And they don't waive the fee, which is so annoying. If they just waive the fee, we could easily put the permit request in. Because getting a PO for the permit fee will take
How much
like,
is the permit? What's the permit?
like $25.
I donate that?
Probably could if you want.
Seriously, I mean, if
That's
it's
the hat.
$25.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 mile run that is?
$20 in my
Pass
pocket.
your mom's caps.
6 mile run,
She'll put the Jacques Lane, State Park, yes, 6 mile run State Park is Jacques Lane entrance. JCQ, yeah, or Jake's.
I just want to see, oh yeah, that's what the entrance is over here, dogs on lead, oh, we have it on, why do we have it on our website? I just want to see what it says here.
Is that a big biking place too?
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
so,
Okay.
I don't want to get
Always
run
the
over.
busy trail. Sometime when I pass by early morning, 6 o'clock, I always see car. I'm like, people are already here. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, are we gonna get more than 20 people, do you think? And if we did, is someone gonna actually know?
well, and I think that it's like, they probably have that just to make sure you're not going crazy. We know we're not gonna, if we had more than 20, it'd be 25. You know,
Right.
it's not gonna be, right, we're not. So we'll be happy if we get 20, but it's very unlikely that we will. And if we did go over that, it's not gonna be anything egregious.
How big is that parking lot? I haven't checked that out.
It's big, they've expanded it.
Did they?
They've expanded it.
We have to be careful we don't schedule for a time there's a biking event there. Because
Well,
we
yeah.
get run over,
Right, right.
seriously run over.
Well, we're gonna be in such a big group that they're not gonna run us over, they're gonna be annoyed by us.
We're gonna run them over.
Right. Right. When you're a lone hiker, it's kind of,
I don't go there.
yeah.
They only have, it looks like they haven't updated their website. What is
Yeah.
this, April 2nd?
I would also love the towpath, like, I would also love, the towpath as well.
One by the Raritan?
There's actually nothing on this website
Yeah,
about having
yeah,
any
between the
permit.
canal and the Raritan.
That's a nice one.
They don't
Yeah.
list anything here about permits. So maybe we can just do it.
So what do you guys, so just thinking about like locations, I know we've done a nice job in the southern part of the town with John Clyde, with Bunker Hill, we know that Butler Road's not a great event site. I don't think Middle Bush is a great event site. But like thinking, I know we're gonna be doing, and we've done Negri as well, a couple times. What was the, so just thinking about in the New Brunswick bordering side of town, we have Inman over there. We've done a couple hikes at Inman as well.
Horse hike there.
Yeah.
That was a good
That was a
one.
good one.
And I think I did one more after that as well. Yeah, walk with a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It
It was like
was.
personal safety. They did like personal safety stuff. I mean, I like the idea of both 6 Mile Run and the towpath. It may be like at the DeMott Lane entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Both
I
are
haven't
fine
been
with
down
me.
there. Anyone been down there recently?
Demont Lane
was
has
there.
the Demont Lane entrance though has such a small parking lot, right? And it's difficult to get in and it's kind of like a long path down to it. So if the parking lot is full,
You can
kind of
park
like-
over by the house.
By the house,
Like,
yeah.
You can park where the
Okay, okay.
garage is.
That's
over
true,
there.
that's true.
Has anyone seen the garden that we weeded and we put all the bulbs in and everything?
Has anyone checked it
Yeah, I
Never
saw that.
checked
was
that
put
out.
I gotta check
Or at least it looked clean.
That was a year ago, October, I think.
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
good one.
So it's been about a year and a half.
They have one person there that kind of like maintains that. So, yeah, but that was a good project, and it seems like it worked. But yeah, now that's by the house, right?
Yes.
I wonder if we maybe could, if we did something there, we might be able to partner with Meadows to do a
Oh,
tour there.
That would be a great idea.
She would probably do a tour there. I think.
Yeah.
the inside of the house?
Potentially,
The Lake
yeah.
House. I know somebody lives there.
Yeah, they only
So-
live on the upstairs, the
Yeah.
second floor, and the tour is only on the first floor. But Sue Ann would probably offer to give the tour like at one time. She might do 2 times, so I could ask her. It's an
That would
idea.
be a nice combo.
I like that
A
idea.
tour and a hike and a tour.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah, that could work.
And there's also, I know when I worked for Parks and Recreation, in the 90s, it was, like, they would have, like, you could park, they let you, if there was park need, you could park on the grass, too. My friend had his wedding there, like, you could park on the grass, they had, some different, I don't think we would need that, I think we would have enough space, but
We could do the tour by Sue Ann. I'm sure she would be willing to do it, and the garden. We could go show them the garden and be like, "This is what we did. We got grant funding, and we could." So it's
on
like,
the boardwalk back there. That's
Yeah.
great.
if it looks good, and you know what, and if it needs work, that might be a good, to get some people.
Volunteer sign-up sheet.
Yeah. I, not this year, but the previous year, I did the Follow the Yellow Brick Road, where you got to see the Meadows houses, there's like 3 very close together
yeah.
on South Middle Bush Road. Follow South Middle Bush Road, or whatever it was. It's like, play on words, Follow the Yellow Brick Road. And I know when I was at the house, was it Wyckoff Garrettson, where they were like dressed in period clothing. It was great. It was really informative. So that would be if they had something like that they could
Yeah,
do
I'm sure
at
she
the Van
could.
Wickle house.
Yeah. They do a good job with the tour of the Van Wickle house because they basically show you like everything that's in there, and then they show you like the types of wood that was used to build it, and there's like this little like ghost story that they add in there. So it is nice.
I'll remind everyone in October, they have that Somerset historical thing.
Yes.
So it's all throughout the
The
county.
weekend journey,
Okay.
I
yeah.
learned how to weave, with the spinning wheel.
Yeah. I mean, if we did it there and she did a
Since, but-
tour, I mean, if they could put out, like a donation basket, which they really do need.
Oh, and they need members as well.
Members, yeah, so we could like kind of lure her in with that. So either one is, I think, a good idea.
I think the combo is great. We can take them for a hike, and on the way back, tour the house.
Yeah.
Because we have more birds earlier in the morning, so that would be good.
So you want me to ask
And then-
Sue Ann?
But I would still like to do one at 6 miles. Maybe not on National Trails Day though. Maybe we could like pick another date for that.
That would be great. I haven't done that since I got almost run over, so.
That's my favorite trail, the white trail from Jacques to the red loop. That's my favorite.
That's
Hey,
your
Tara,
favorite
can you
trail?
slide that? Oh, yeah.
And you've done it recently where you haven't been run over?
Yeah, I go all the time. Well, I shouldn't say that.
We
This
get
winter
there.
I haven't been there that much, only like once or twice.
Sorry, hang on.
You had it up already.
I just closed it right as you were getting it up. Hang on 1 second here. What am I under? Mapping. Because I was like, oh, let me save that map in case we need it. Here we go.
Yeah, this part right here. So that's the parking lot, and you can do that loop, and it's less than 3 miles. It's less than 3 miles, and if you want it to be 3 miles, you can essentially go to the bridge, and then that's closer to 3 and back.
That'd be a good idea for another one.
Yeah, because when they added that white trail, it has a little more hills to it. You're going through different types of forests. But yeah,
What's the other parking on the far right?
That's 27.
Oh, that's 27.
That's
So there's
the,
three parkings. You have 27.
That's Jersey
Jocks,
Knights,
And then
the
Canal.
soccer fields.
Oh, is that where that is?
Yeah.
And Jacques used to be this
It's the
very small
trailhead as well.
one.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's like it's doubled in size. It's like doubled in
All
size.
right.
It's not as big. It's still not as big as the 27 lot. That's
That's huge. But that's a nice place to just do that loop, would be great.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
So that parking lot on the left is by the Blackwell Mill Road, the junction of Canal Road and the Blackwell Mill Road,
Yeah.
right? That's where it comes.
Yes. But there's a house in between the
yeah.
parking lot and Blackwell's Mills.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, sounds good. So we got our plans?
So what time are you guys thinking?
Well, can we just kind of pull up what we did last year maybe?
10 o'clock.
If you want, yeah, I guess if we do, if Sue Ann's okay with the tour, because when I speak to her, I just want to kind of tell her, you know,
Yeah.
this is when it's starting, and then she can let me know
Can you
about.
just pull up our flyer from last time and we can
Yeah.
kind of like maybe edit that?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
June month, right? A pretty hot month. So maybe if we start 10 would be okay for people to come. Not too early, not too
Yeah,
late.
not too late either.
Before it start heating up around 12, we can finish
At
it.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
So we're thinking the same thing.
Yep.
That is a good time.
That's good.
Yeah, we started at 10. You want to still start at 10, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
would
we
be a
can
good
set up at 9, you know what I mean? And it's not like you have to be there
Crazy.
7 a.m. setting up.
Okay, so we will do 10 a.m. Now, is it preferable to have the tour before the walk or after the walk?
I prefer to do the walk first,
I agree.
especially in June.
So tour afterwards, okay. Okay.
And we can kind of collect people as we go along and then say, oh, there's a house tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been curious, now you can come inside.
And do we want to, we did registration with rec desk
Mhm.
last time. We want that as well.
Yes.
We want to limit that, that's what they're gonna ask me, to cars or people at all, or no?
Never
So are you worried? I guess, I think that,
I'm not worried,
so
sometimes,
I
like
don't
at
like to have
John,
limits personally.
no, at John Clyde, we always limit, when we do the rec desk, but we limit it by car.
Uh-huh.
Only because of the parking issue.
Okay.
That's the only reason, yeah. This
Yeah.
year, I don't really know
Because
that
we
it's
also
a
always
big
have so
deal.
many cancellations.
Yeah,
that-
yeah. I don't really know if it's, you need to limit anything.
Okay.
I would limit it. Cross that bridge when you get to it.
You can park around the house, you can park on the lane, there's that little
Yeah,
parking,
it's plenty of-
yeah, I think it'll be okay.
Parker Rucker's
Plenty of
prepping.
space.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So if we do those two things, I think that's enough for a day, right?
Perfect.
And then I guess, you know, for the 6 mile run, when we get to that point, we could think about like
Yeah.
when we could do that.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever you guys, if you want to do another one this summer, you want to wait till the fall and do a fall one.
Or
up
maybe
to
because
you.
we don't have anything in May, do we?
No. Not that I know of.
Or- When's the next one you're leading, Jignasia?
19th. This month, April 19th. Yeah.
Okay. Um, Oh, I think we kind of run into that whole Memorial Day weekend issue. I think we did that. We didn't get a big turnout when we did that.
What if we did one at 6 Mile Run, made it for the fall and made it almost like a fall Halloweeny kind of? Because that seems like a Halloweeny place to me. Maybe I'm wrong. You could do a storybook one, like of like the pumpkins, like the spooky pumpkins or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That could be fun. We also have there's a mulberry tree. There's a mulberry tree near the parking lot. A mulberry tree and a cherry tree. But you gotta hit it right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta- and when you hit it right, it's like, yay!
And
Yeah.
sometime in June,
Jackpot.
right? Mulberry and,
I think
yeah,
so. It's
cherries.
summer. It's definitely
Sometime,
summer.
yeah. I remember picking up cherries last year.
Oh,
It was
wow.
loaded with cherries. Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
wow.
that tree. So
Aw.
it was June. Sometime June, July.
So maybe
Trail shaded?
June.
That loop trail, is that shaded?
The white part, yeah, the white trails. It's mostly shaded actually. There's a meadow part you go out into, and then you go back in the woods. Yeah. And then the trail coming back, there's actually there's two paths. You can go one within the trees, and then one which is more along the farm. There's still trees, but not as well protected as the other newer trail.
Just trying to think in terms of comfort.
Oh, for shade. Yeah. Maybe then. This is going to be June 7th is National Trails Day. Maybe in July.
We have
What you're
Firefly,
thinking,
yeah.
You're thinking of September?
But it doesn't have to be September. I was just thinking of, time.
Oh, we have the Firefly.
Because we have
night.
Firefly in July.
Okay.
August, but August is a tough month for people. You don't really get too many takers
Vacation.
usually. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then maybe a back to school night.
Yeah?
How about May? Toward the end of the May.
That's what I was just looking at, and then you kind of run into Memorial Day.
I'm available in the May. It's a vacation for me, so I can do
Okay.
3 days during that time. May is good for me. If you want, I
Tell
can
me
do
more.
in May.
When?
May.
Because I'd like to do May.
Weekend would be better, right? So people can join.
Yeah.
Always Saturday.
You have Mother's Day weekend, and then you have Memorial Day weekend. When's Memorial Day? Oh, there. So the weekend of the 24th. might
Mother's
be
Day is
tricky.
11th. Which is a Memorial Day? Which one?
So maybe maybe the 17th? Maybe May?
17th. Okay, so that week. 11th is a Mother's Day, 17th is a Memorial Day.
No,
So we can skip that
the
week.
Memorial Day is the 26th.
26. Okay, so that weekend I can do either 24th, that is Saturday, 24th or 31st.
What about the 17th?
17th is also fine.
Well, the 24th is Memorial Day weekend, so you don't want to do that, right? So now you're up to the 17th.
Yeah, so 17, yeah. Okay, then skips 24. 17 May.
Yeah.
May 17th I can do.
May 17th. Okay. What type of, do you need, so I guess what do we need to
That
do?
I will let you know.
Okay, let me know
Yeah.
the logistics, and then we can put together a flyer and all that.
So we're talking about a 6-mile run, right?
6 mile run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a focus, Ignacio, or are you just thinking, just brainstorming today?
No, I will just think about it. Theme for my hike.
Okay, so you'll let me know the logistics.
I will
and
let
I'll
you
put
know.
together
Yeah.
a flyer and all that.
I'd like this one to be open to the public though.
Yeah, open to public, not for school.
Okay.
Yeah, this is open for public.
Yes, okay, so you'll give me the details, then we'll figure it out.
So I'm happy to do it with you too.
Sure, of course.
I would be interested because I haven't been there in a long, long time.
On my calendar, but I put it on my school's internal calendar by mistake.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, I gotta move it.
All right, that sounds good. Great plans.
Okay, well. Okay. And then we can, maybe at our next meeting, we can start thinking about the fall stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay. So National Trails Day planning. We're
I
looking
think
to
we're
do
good.
the-
I'll reach out to
the
Sue Ann, yeah.
Towpath
Yeah.
at Demott, Van Winkle House. And Tara, if there's any way we could like push DPW to put that trail sign, you know, we've been talking about the brown trail
Oh,
sign,
yes.
to have
okay.
it outside there. Because it does say towpath access on, you know, put the new wood sign up, which looks nicer, but it's still not, clear to everybody if that means hiking.
Got it. Okay, so you want the trail sign, this is, I'm
At the
sorry,
intersection of Demott Lane
Right,
and Easton
right.
Avenue.
Intersection, yeah.
Easton Avenue, is this maybe why we can't get that done? Is Easton Avenue a county road, and would DPW be the one to put the sign up, or would the county be the one to put the sign up?
Very nice of you to think that, that's the obstacle. Very nice of you to think that that's the
County
obstacle.
road, yeah.
There's somewhere they can put it, I'm sure.
Well, I just, maybe.
But it could be.
Faster to ask the county.
It could be.
I mean,
Even if we put it like at
you've
the
been asking for this for as
entrance-
long as I've been, I mean, I haven't been on this board for very long, but I've been on this board for a year and a quarter. So, that's kind of a long time to put up a sign.
We're in the process of getting the benches that we've been asking for.
Yeah.
It's a-
T-shirts.
It's a process.
Yeah, no, I get it, I'm just
It's a
wondering.
process. Yeah, we gotta figure out how to, but I think when it's an event, you know what I mean? Like, I think it kind of sometimes puts a little more steam into the process. So, yeah.
Yeah, if it's an event. Now, and who has the sign that says Pike today or any? Doesn't someone
Oh,
have
I have
You
the.
have it.
I have the events today sign.
Event today. Okay,
I have the
got
event
it.
today sign, and I have the hike today little ones that I made from the signs you had gotten for the storyboards, but they were too
Oh,
small.
yes.
So I turned them into hike today signs.
Okay.
So we can use those as well. And I know in the past, we have put up the National Trails Day sign at all of the trailheads. If Tara can like share with us the final copy, is that something that we could each like make sure it goes on our trailhead post? Even if that means like taping it to the outside or.
This is the QR code you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the flyer for National Trails Day.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll
Just
share it with
making
you.
sure-
Yeah, visibility.
Yeah.
Just as a backup plan in case
That's great.
one person isn't able to do them all.
Great idea.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is Walk All Trails program.
Got it. Okay, so I don't know if everyone had a chance to review the Google form that I sent out. It's not live. Were you able to open it even though it wasn't live or no?
I can't remember.
Yeah, this Google form, you had mentioned to me it wasn't published. Were you able to open it or no? You weren't able to open it and you weren't, no one was.
It was
Okay.
giving message that form need to be published.
Yeah, I think it's.
Tried 2-3 times
If you
and
add
it doesn't
us as
message.
Then
collaborators,
I can
we
do
can
it.
see it, but if you
Okay.
don't add us collaborators, we can't.
All right, so I'll send it to you, but we can go through it. Basically, I put together the Google form, so I talked to Sassy and told her about the trails we came up with, the links and everything, so she's good with that. She was like, the next step is to try and put together this Google form. I sent it to her, I haven't heard back from her yet either. But basically, I'll send it to you all, and if I publish it, I mean, even if I have to publish it, no one knows it's published
Correct.
unless I
Yeah.
just send it to you guys. So if I
Right.
can't make you collaborators for some reason, I can do
I think
that.
Yeah, yeah.
recent change in a Google form. Before there was no tab for the publish, but now they ask you to publish and then you can share the link. So then we
Okay.
can access that link. Once you publish, we all will be able to access it.
Okay, so I'll do that after this then, okay.
And you can do it restricted. You can do it
Right.
publish and then
Yeah.
put us in.
Got it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but no one's gonna be searching. I
Yeah,
mean,
who's
like,
gonna-
Even if
yeah.
somebody would have found it and hack it, like, I don't know.
Right,
It's a
right.
major.
Someone will find
So
it.
basically, this form, it basically gives a little background on it. It just says, we encourage our residents to learn more about our 70 trails. This program has 14 miles of trails. Basically says that what the program is, which is we want to celebrate trail goers. You have 14 trails, 14.2 miles, ranging in length, level of difficulty, geography, and amenities. There's no order or time frame. Use all the trails in the current program the way you prefer and are able, and then complete this form. So one form for each trail, because we basically collected. So basically the idea is you finish the trail, you fill out this form, right? And the QR code will be there. Then I put these reminders in, which it's basically like, please do this at your own pace. Like, I do not want you telling me you felt like you had to run it at full speed, and then who knows what happens. The trails selected, we're saying they range in difficulty, so you're encouraged to visit the township's website to get information before you go. You're required to complete a form for each trail if you want to get recognition. Please wear your appropriate clothing and footwear. Sunscreen, insect repellent. We ask you to bring food and water if you feel it's needed. Please dispose of your trash, and also many sites do not have access to restrooms. So I then put the links to our trails and the links to our committee, and then basically here you go. So I put in, so one question is, which of the program's trails did you complete? So all I have to do is click off which one you did, right? And these are the ones we approved. How did you enjoy these trails? So did you walk it or bike it? Did you bird it? I don't know if that's like a thing, but I figured if someone wants to go out there while they're birding and they walk the whole trail, then why not, you know? Jog, run, did you do it as part of a planned event, like one of our TAC events, or just exploring it? I put that in there because it's like, I don't know, maybe someone's like, well, I don't know, did I hike it, did I walk it, I'm not sure. So this is like, you know what, I just went, and that's all. When did you visit these trails? So you can either put in here, if you want to put the exact date, you're welcome to, or if you want to say when the summer of 2025, that's fine with me too. I'm basically trying to get like a general climate of the day that you went, that's all. What would you prescribe your level of activity? So the Safi wants this question in there so she can report it to the mayor's wellness campaign, and this helps us convert to like approximately how many calories have been burned without asking someone their weight, basically. That's all it is. So it's rigorous, average, or leisurely. This is just for us. All these questions don't have to be in there, by the way. This is just for us. But please describe your favorite part of the trail. This could be something you learned, encountered, the view, a specific amenity, etc. So we're just, yeah, and it kind of like when we get the information back, it gives us info that we can also post. Say like, hey, people really like Negri Napodi for their sunset view or something. Then we have, please let us know about your experience on the trail with the Walk All Trails program, our mapping. Basically, this is a part where you can put any comments to make our program better. Would you visit this trail again or recommend it to a friend? Did you review the website for level of difficulty and mapping? So this is a question I want to ask in terms of mapping. We don't have to ask it here, but I'm trying to find out if our mapping is really working for people. And then the next question is, did you find the information and trail map consistent with the trail and overall helpful? This is another Safi question. How long did it take you to complete the trail? So again, minutes we can turn into exercise, which can turn into calories. And what age range are you in? How often do you exercise?
18 or older?
To fill out this form, apparently, I guess it has to be 18 or older. We could have an adult fill it out, I guess. I guess we could add in like under 18 and
With
just,
parents help?
Yeah, parent, or with a guardian, I guess. I don't know. I could do that though for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I think kids might want to do it.
Yeah, we can add that in. And then how often do you exercise in a week? Again, this is another way of basically asking someone like, not what's your weight, but we need to kind of understand what's up here. And then that's it. Thank you for participating. Please provide your contact information so we can recognize you at a meeting. So when we get all of the information in, we can basically, actually, I wonder if I should have a question on there that says like, is this your final submission? Because I'm just trying to think like, how am I going to know that they actually, this is their last. So I should add in, so for the Walk All Trail, let me just write this down. We're going to add in an age category for 18 and under, age 18 and, or I'm sorry, 17, right?
Yeah.
And under. And then question, basically like, does this submission complete, the program for you? So
Make some of these.
I have a
required.
A question.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I don't think you should make all of these questions be required. I see the little red dot next to all the questions.
Right.
Minimize the number of questions that are actually required to be answered, to like name and where you.
Because there are a lot of questions here and people are just not
They
answering.
won't, yeah, they might.
Especially they have to do this for every trail they do.
Yeah, that was the question I had to ask. Like, I know there were tick boxes for the different trails.
Yes.
So now, but the questions, are they going to come up every time there's a tick box? That means for each trail that they've walked, they're going to answer these questions?
Yes.
So
For each
but then
trail that they've walked, they'll answer.
how would
these
you
questions.
differentiate it in a form? Like you will only tick one and,
Yeah, you're supposed to do one form per trail. I thought about trying to make it combined, but it's just like in
It's gonna be
terms,
too complicated.
yeah, in terms of collecting our data for what we need, it would be a lot easier to separate them. So this way we can put all of the Bunker Hills together, all of the Butler Roads together, and it also allows staff to get the information for the mayor's wellness
and
campaign.
are the tick boxes unique in the terms like if you tick one, you will not be able to tick the others?
I'm not sure, actually. It
You
could
probably
be.
do that because
Yeah, like it
that
could
will
be.
create confusion. They might say, hey, I went to 3 of them and tick
Yeah.
all 3 and assume.
Oh, yeah, it should be one only.
It has to be one only,
I
yes.
hear what you're saying.
So yeah, this should say,
Either use it like a
Only.
Dropbox where you can
Yeah.
choose one trail or just make it
And
exclusive.
it, normally, you can set it up, right, so it doesn't, you don't have to say it, it just won't let you pick more than one.
Because otherwise, you're absolutely right, all the data will be merged all over the place.
Although, why wouldn't you let people?
Because they're only supposed to do one at a time.
So then how would you recognize the person at the end where you are saying the last question?
so at the end, I think I should have a question there that basically says, is this like the last trail that you're completing? Because when they've done all the trails, then they're supposed to be able to come and get recognized at a township meeting. But my question is, unless I'm looking for it, how would I know that they did all the trail? Like,
So
I
you
guess
will
I
have-
would know.
You will receive the multiple Google form submissions from the person. Let's say I walk 5 times and I fill up this form 5. Every time I walk,
right, then
I will
yeah.
submit the form. So
Correct.
you will have a 5 entries from me.
For you,
But that person, if using the different email ID, then
Right.
it will be
So do you
difficult
have
for you
their name in?
to figure out the same person.
you're
So
right.
what maybe or we
Yeah,
can
I don't
do
have
one
their name,
thing
yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
this form we can ask people to, like, if you have walked minimum 5 trails, or let's say walk minimum this many trails, fill up this form.
Yeah, well, the only thing though is we want to get data about each trail.
Yeah, so that, oh yeah, in that case.
That's
you
the
would-
thing.
Wants
yeah, yeah.
miles,
Yeah,
effort,
Yeah.
distance.
right.
Like, I don't say Excel, but a grid or something, like you'll have the name and then you have the
Yeah.
trails, and then when you get their form, check, 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 and
Correct,
then, you know.
yeah. So instead of at the bottom where we ask them to write in their name, I should have a required question, that's their name, because you're right, say they use a different email address, doesn't matter, if I have their name though, I can track
How you
it.
can track it, yeah.
Okay, so
Should be on top.
required, and this way it doesn't matter what they fill it in, so once I have 14 Jignasha Patels, I know it's over.
Right.
Okay, and then I don't have to ask them that, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
Okay.
at least with the name you can recognize the person.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, because I'll get an alert that it comes in, and so once I see that, oh, this person has now 14 entries, we know that they're done.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. We don't have to keep all these questions in here. We can absolutely remove some. The health ones are we're kind of stuck with, but like the trails, what did you complete? We need that. How did you enjoy them? That would be good to know. Biking,
So
birding.
something else I'm thinking, like looking at that one, Tara, is it's not just walk all trails then.
Right.
It's kind of like explore.
I
Like, I don't
know.
know,
That's the
like should be
thing.
like walk/explore?
Or it could just be explore, I guess, but I feel like I like the way walk all trails sounds, I don't know, although it's not really walk.
That's a title.
It could be explore all trails.
Or maybe if we call it, like, we leave it called walk all trails, but maybe like in here. Oh. Enjoy, yeah, enjoy.
It could be explore, I'm fine with it, we don't have any like
Okay.
branding yet or anything, I just, yeah, originally I was just like walking and then I was
Can you
like,
go
but what
back
if
to
you
the top?
don't, what if you don't walk or what,
Yeah, I mean, you could probably put down there which activities did you like, then you have those options.
Yeah.
That might,
The other
Give you
thing
the
though
input.
is like, say with the biking, so say you bike the trail, like biking, we can then use that as a different, like if we know what you did, we can probably get closer to, you know, the level of exercise and all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you guys like explore all trails better or?
I mean, I think walk is fine.
I'm not pushing against walk. I was just wondering if we should add, like, since we're offering something
Yeah.
else. But we'll figure it out when they go through here, I guess.
More complicated.
Enjoy all trails, okay. When did you visit? I mean, that's a question we could probably get rid of. We don't really need it.
Yeah, because you're gonna see them.
Yeah, okay, so we'll remove that's one, so we'll remove the when question.
I mean, I don't know the why we need to calculate calories or anything like that, but I would honestly get rid of all of the questions around what would you describe
we
as
don't,
the level
right?
of activity, like you're vigorous. I mean, that's just all.
Well, we want to.
That's not for us, that's for the town.
It's for us a little bit, only because it also, it coincides with our local health assessment, so it's one of the trails projects that we can
I'm
do.
sure there must be some. It's logical to somebody. It's not to me.
So our local health assessment, it really calls for, you know, promoting the use of our trails in terms of health, using health as like.
But I don't think this measure. Well, whatever.
I mean, yeah, it's.
What is the percentage of people that actually use our trails and the overlap of people that fill out this form is going to be vanishingly small. I
Oh,
just
for
don't think
sure.
it's I don't think
Yeah.
it's meaningful.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think the data that we're going to collect from this is meaningful enough to actually collect it.
Well, we might be
It's a
surprised.
barrier to collect
Maybe
it.
we'll be surprised.
Maybe. That was my
Yeah.
If we push it at National Trails Day,
humble opinion.
I'm just wondering if the sequence of them, if you want to like put those together in a row, the ones that are just kind of like the data ones.
It does take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked you every say, people are.
Why is the government asking me how often
Well,
I
it's not the government asking, it's just, we're just trying to,
I just was putting this in the context of,
Yeah.
you know, of like.
really what we're trying to do is we wrote this local health assessment and action plan. Part of it is to incorporate health into all of our
adding to
projects.
the project and trying to.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could probably get rid of one of these questions, rigorous versus
I didn't want to answer all these questions.
this trail again. We want that one experience. I'm trying to see, hold on, let me see if there's something I can get. I mean, we can get rid of the mapping questions. We don't really need those.
Yes, I would get rid of every question that is unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really more just for me to see if our mapping is working, but I can get that other ways. So that will get rid of, so far we'll get rid of 1, 2.
Mapping is working by
Three
the
questions.
nature of the fact that they just pipe the trail.
Yeah.
Do you have that in the introduction, you know, the top of, you know, the beginning of the page, the beginning of the form? Do you have something like that visit? Yeah. Do you have something about the,
Where to find the info?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have the links for the maps review
Yeah, oh,
and
that's
then
it, yeah,
to our
okay.
committee and about the trail. Okay, so if I get rid of the mapping and we get rid of the when,
Well, the when you will approximately get, because anytime when you get an email,
right,
you have that, so you don't need
Yes,
to.
you're right.
collect it.
Yeah, it will have a date and time both, so she would know like, okay, when it is submitted.
Right.
So you can remove that question.
Yes, that I have to remove. Do we want to keep, I think this is nice for us. Please describe your favorite
I
part of
like
the trail.
That's a good question. I like that question. I mean, I would just ask, what did you
That's
hike?
a trail
What did you like
question.
about it? Tell us about your experience.
Here's your
You know,
And you could probably add,
I wouldn't ask anything else.
Not approximately how long did it take to complete the trail?
Right?
I mean, it's nice for us to have it and we can report on it, which is always nice, you know?
Can you interpolate
Maybe-
that data with average, vigorous, or leisurely?
Probably could, yeah. We probably could.
maybe reduce the number of options so that
Yeah,
people just have
yeah.
to, instead of having so many.
I mean, or we could
Every
just get
30
rid of it
minutes.
and keep rigorous, whatever else it was, and leisurely.
This question anyway get answered by that other question.
Right,
yeah,
So we
exactly.
just send
Those
them-
questions are kind of linked.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll remove the amount of minutes.
But you don't think staff needs that?
If she has rigorous, medium, and whatever the other one was, she can kind of deduce it.
But you're not gonna know for how long.
We won't know for exactly how long, no. We won't,
Okay, so you'll know the distance.
unless we get rid of the
You'll
other
know the
question.
distance, you'll know the distance because of the trail.
Correct, yeah. Actually, maybe we should get rid of the other question, the rigorous versus whatever, because if we knew the minutes and we know the length of the trail, then actually that's more helpful.
That's probably a better,
Yeah.
So remove the rigorous, like,
this is such an
remove
odd question to me.
the speed at which you went.
Yeah, which I would have abandoned them.
Speed.
You're judging me.
And you would have gotten nothing.
Keep your hat.
Right, seriously. Speed and keep minutes. Okay, that makes sense, because then we can figure
And
it
then
out.
here too, if you say less than 45 minutes, 45 to 60 and 60 to 90, I think, three options,
Yeah.
Okay.
people will answer it more rather than if you have so many. they
I
will
just
say,
think
"Oh."
that we might need to have a bit of a range because there's such a range of trails and distances.
Yeah, but then you think anything is going to be 15 minutes or 20 minutes?
Well, so the one trail that's in there at Middle Bush Park, it's kind of though an extension of one, is that kids trail. So that would take less than 15 minutes most likely, but we can make it 30 minutes or less. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Okay, what about the age range is gonna have to stay in. The exercise per week, I can ask her if we can get rid of this. I'll
Yeah,
see if
I
we
would,
can get rid of it.
that is such a, there is
So, okay.
zero chance I would continue the survey after that question.
Gosh, paranoid. Oh my goodness. No, but I mean, like, but I'm just thinking for the health survey purpose, right? Like this, because the interesting data would be.
But it's not a
is-
health survey. It's we're gonna give you a sticker if you walk all the trails, and now you're asking me.
Yeah, but the data does go,
Oh, like a hat. I'll have you
collecting the
know.
health
Yeah.
data also.
yeah, the health data is
Not
going to
directly,
the
but
town.
indirectly collecting.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I get it, but
Well,
it's
it's not just
No,
trails.
I guess
it's like-
the data it could give us. So I'm thinking back to like when Chris
I don't
Kelly
think
shared
it's
with
gonna-
us
it's not
the
gonna-
brochures
we're not
they
gonna have a
have.
useful sample. The data isn't gonna be useful.
Yeah. So like the when Chris Kelly was here from the Somerset County Open Space, and he had, you saw the pamphlets he had, and they had like all their accomplishments, color, and they had a brochure. And I'm just thinking for us, like some of this data might be good for us if we're saying,
I get it. I just don't think you're gonna collect this data. I don't think it's gonna be successful if we ask all this.
last half.
Well,
We can always-
if people are
This is
willing
year
to do
one.
it,
Yeah.
then
It's
we'll be good. But if not, I mean, yeah, if no one
statistically
does it.
significant will be the sample.
Yeah, just don't
and
make it
are you
mandatory.
Shooting yourself in
If
the
they want
foot
to
by
answer the question, we
asking.
will answer the questions.
The ones we'll make a few mandatory, like their name,
Yes,
which
some
trail
you
they
make
went
mandatory,
to,
some, yeah.
We'll make them optional.
and then the other ones.
Definitely
can
make
be
the
optional.
vast majority of the questions optional.
Well,
At least
name and an
data,
email,
you know?
right? So, yep.
Yeah, name, email, and what you hiked is the mandatory.
All right. Let's see, that's it then for that. So if we go through this, make those changes, and then I'll send it out to all of you to give one last look. And then hopefully the idea Safi wants to do is kind of like put it on our webpage, we can advertise it, and then as people start filling it out and stuff, we can recognize them. So if only one person does it, we can recognize them, but say we get a group of 3 or 4, then we can recognize them together. That's the idea. So,
When do we start this and when do we end it?
and we were gonna say it was gonna just be like rolling, as soon as we
Whoever
get
does it gets acknowledged
Yeah.
as we roll.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, got it.
Yep. And then once the form is up, like we don't have to make changes or anything. It's just you fill this out. Once you do your thing, you get recognized, and we hope you'll definitely get something, but you'll also get, called up, and the mayor will give you a little certificate and, recognize you and stuff. So that's nice.
Is it for us also?
You can do it. Absolutely. You can do it. You can be the first winner. Yes, Jake Nasha.
The one and only.
Yeah, why not? You guys are citizens and we need people to do it. We need Jignash up there, ASAP. We won't say your last
Who's
name.
gonna come ahead on this little
Absolutely.
We'll just say Jignash and that's it, so they won't realize you're on the committee. We'll be like, ew, here you go.
Since we're on trails, we pick the gifts, and then if the gift is good enough, I'll do it too.
Right, yes, I like it. Okay, all right.
We couldn't enter the photo contest. But I guess
Right.
that was different.
Yeah, I don't think, even the photo contest, well, you guys were judging
We were
it. This is
judging it.
just like,
Yeah. Okay. The Tour de Franklin. Is that that's still happening, right?
Yeah, it's 27th, this month,
Yes, it is,
27th.
yeah.
It's happening.
Because I know we had talked about
Yeah, in one of the
wanting to do
meetings we
something
talk
in
about.
partnership to have like a trails option. Because I was just thinking, would this be ready? But now that I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, that's
I
soon.
think it's too late.
That's soon.
yeah.
They have all their
Okay.
stuff planned.
All right, we'll have to get that for next year.
Next year.
Oh, we talked to Mark about that.
Mhm.
I think he's pretty involved with that.
No,
Tour de Franklin,
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, the improvements to the bird blind.
So Chris Williams and Jim and Bob Puskis, right? Who else went? Anybody else that we know?
I was just there with Chris, and it was only for one day, so,
No, but that was still really helpful. So Jim went and helped Chris with some of the work. I know Bob Puskis went and helped him pick up some materials
Yes.
that he needed. So he has started the work, and he's going to keep, doing it as he can. But so far, this is what he's done so far. So he was able to. Let me see if he wrote me a.
Just the one picture that you had already linked.
Yeah, he sent me just the one.
Some, I have some. We've both been there to check it out.
Is that it looks different. Is it different?
well,
The
it's the outside
Yeah.
stuff, the siding, and
But are the cuts are the same?
I think
I don't
so.
think the
Yes.
cuts are the same.
No, I think they're different. I think.
Why did he change
They're
it?
smaller.
They're smaller.
I thought we were keeping it the same. I'm confused.
He started, and we appreciate you, Chris, if you're listening. He started working on it, like basically as soon as he left our OSAC meeting, he started immediately taking it down.
Yeah.
So that was basically, he emailed me and was like, oh, hey, I took down, the parts of the bird blind. I was like, oh, well, it was approved. That is true. Open Space approved it, but it hasn't gone to the council for funding. The funding is approved, but it's we didn't buy anything.
It's some process.
Yes. So, but he is working hard on it. And Jim, thank you for helping him.
I think his feeling was it's smaller, less
Yes.
intrusive. So I
Yes.
think that's what his thinking behind it was. Having smaller.
But we
Foods.
okay. But we did not approve changing the design. So that's my confusion. We approved the repairing it. The restoring it. It was restore repair. So okay.
Where the slots.
I appreciate the work too.
Is the bench still there?
Yes. But, the flooring's got to be redone,
He's
the
gonna redo
ramp's
the
got to be
flooring,
redone, the
yeah.
fencing's got to be redone.
He still has a lot of work to do, and he's working on it, but he really, really wanted to start it in March. He absolutely wants to start it in March. And then I got a picture hey, took half the bird blind down.
Yeah.
I was like,
I have those pictures too. So I went
Yeah.
there, I was
But yeah, so he continues to work on it, and like I said, Jim has been a great volunteer. I feel like someone from the Environmental Commission also volunteered, but I can't remember who it was.
I thought there was a general. I didn't know it was actually happening. Did something go out that was actually happening? How did you know it was actually happening?
Because I let Tara know, it's if he needs help, just have him,
He let me know Jim said if he needs any help, but I got a text literally of a picture of half of a bird blind. That's how I found out.
Yeah.
And I just walked there and saw it. And I was like, oh, it was much bare. He had been working on it, but it was ripped open.
But he still continues to work on it. It's going to take some time. So I know Bob Puskis, the chair of the Open Space Committee, took him to he needed more siding, I guess.
Okay.
So he went and got that, and so continues on. That's the only update I have as of right now.
Sorry.
That's the picture I had.
That's there.
Oh yeah, that's the picture I got. That's a similar. That's similar to what I received.
Wow.
That's the studs.
Okay. Those are new studs?
Old.
Those are the old studs, right?
Old.
Yeah, the frame was
So
good.
now. So is oh, that's all we have, huh?
That's it.
Is it still gonna look like that in the front?
I don't think so, because it looks like the siding is done on the front.
No, that's the back. That's facing the pond.
That's facing the pond, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about, the front.
What's
like
facing the
facing.
pond?
That wall,
that's
that
a
wall is,
Finished wall?
that wall is
Yeah.
facing the pond.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's where you look out at the bird.
Listen, you were there, you saw me at that open space meeting getting hot and bothered, right? And this is what I say.
For
Yes.
nobody else would that be hot and bothered.
Yes. I was getting angry.
Okay.
Yes, I was getting
Okay.
annoyed because they didn't want to spend the
They don't want to
money.
spend the
Open
money.
space did not want to spend any money. So that's the thing. We have a volunteer,
Yeah.
and which is great. And he's doing it. He's an amazing person. Love him. Thank you, Chris. But it's like, you
That's just
know,
not what we had talked about,
right.
and we had really wanted.
So the purpose,
What you're
right?
looking at
This-
is the back,
Oh, yeah, I know.
which is those,
Right.
the size of it.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
I thought we
People
were
can-
restoring it.
Yeah,
the size of it seems to
I
be
have
driven by
everything
the,
here.
by the framing.
by the frames, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so those spots are good based on the framing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those cuts.
But there was, previously, there was more than just those two slits.
Yeah.
Like, I believe there was like if you were sitting, you could
And
see
you can
as
easily
well.
see them.
Well, it
That
could
can
be
cut if needed.
That isn't apparent in the framing, but, I mean, that could
It is, if you,
still get cut out. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, you cut the holes after you put the siding up.
Right.
Oops.
So
That was the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
that you don't see holes now doesn't mean that there won't be holes in the future.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'm just telling you
You
how
have a saw, right?
siding get cut. It
All
would
right,
need a
so
router,
you and
really.
me, we're gonna
Have to
go.
be out there cutting the holes in.
I need a very long extension cord.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That's the way it looked like. Yeah,
That's
you
the way
can,
it
you can
looks
do
like.
that with a router, though. It's not super
Yeah.
impossible.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What do you have
That
there,
big
Carvesh?
cutout right here.
Yeah, see?
This is all I'm saying is we have the money in the open space trust fund to do stewardship. We should have paid the money to do it. We should have paid the money, but open space did not, like they never do. They never want to spend any extra money. So when you have a volunteer doing it, we're on his schedule and
And they
he's out
were
there
also-
making decisions.
They were
Spend so
worried
much
about
money.
all the approvals too.
Yeah, this is how.
They were worried about the applications,
Yeah,
the
exactly, yeah.
approvals, and
Right.
and the study, and
Yeah.
say that again.
That's the original.
Yeah.
Don't panic yet. The
Yeah.
holes get cut after the.
And if they aren't, we can ask them to cut them. I mean,
Yeah.
And maybe we like it that way. Maybe we like it that way.
maybe the bottom width, like you said, for sitting, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Put the siding up and then you cut your window holes. So.
All right, moving on. Local health assessment action plan and micromobility project.
So we've been talking about for a little while, looking at the local health assessment and the micromobility plan and kind of picking out a project that Trails could work on. And the thought was maybe we could make it so that we pick one that's in both. Just to kind of, so it saves, work basically for us, right? So let me get up the.
There was a lot in both of those reports. That health
Yes.
assessment was huge.
Yeah.
That was a great effort, by the way. Everyone who was on that, you did a great job because there's
Thank you. That was.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
A lot of data.
there.
Carol was front and center, first picture.
Oy, that was a lot, yes, that was a lot of work, but it was good, and we use it all the time. The Shade Tree Commission is using it, our Environmental
Just
Commission.
using it. I mean, how
So if we go to the end, the action plan part, so any of these things here, these are like the main recommended actions, and this comes from all our review of the data. So the first one, there's probably maybe not much in here for us. Franklinites are proud champions of diversity. I mean, we definitely already kind of hold some events for different ages and abilities. I don't know if that one's really for us. Local transportation is lacking. This kind of corresponds with the micromobility study a little bit. This is transportation items, so this is transportation alternatives.
Well, just pause for 1 second. I know you're talking about the diversity, you're talking about with the abilities. I know that is something you've been talking about as far
Yes.
as making them accessible,
Mhm.
like having some more wheelchair accessibility. So
Yes,
That's
and
something-
that's part of, that could be a project that we take on,
Mhm.
is like making one trail more, I guess it depends on how big of a project we want to pick out, you know? Micromobility is a problem in the township. We are looking at making connections to bike lanes, trails, and pathways. So this is one example in here, and I can look at the micromobility study and show you. One thing that the township is not working on a lot right now is our mental health services. I don't know if there's like some interesting way that we can, so these recommendations are providing training for first responders for assessment of people with mental disabilities, promoting services with Richard Hall. I don't know, if maybe we could do a trail walk that is related to suicide prevention during like Suicide Prevention Month, or there is at Richard Hall, they have this Trevor Project hotline, but also at Somerset Medical, I guess it's now Robert Wood Johnson University Barnabas.
yeah.
They have, I think it's the only, or it's the first, I know that. It's an emergency services treatment room specifically for LGBTQIA population. Maybe we could do some type of outdoor, walk or event with that group. The first thought that came to my mind was, there's like a whole suicide prevention month. I don't know if we can like partner and do a type of walk with that. That would be one way of addressing mental health and mental distress, although I don't know if that's really our wheelhouse. Maybe it's not. So I'm just going to go through all of them.
Item 2C, right above.
The training? Oh.
No, I'm saying it's the one, the slide above.
Mm-hmm.
2C, right there. You were there a second ago. By the way, I skipped back because I was looking at it separately. Item 2C is to do the micromobility study. So
Right.
there's overlap, right?
Yes.
By definition, everything
Yes.
in the micromobility study is called out
Correct.
here because this action item 2C is to do the micromobility.
It is, and we've done the
And got
micromobility.
done.
Yes.
And which has a bunch of recommendations in it about improving, access, last mile access, right? That this talks about.
Correct. Yes.
And kind of improving, micro mobility safety, which I think in the making trails accessible to like.
You're right.
Like scooters or micromobility devices for last mile transportation in the more densely populated parts of the town, to separate them a little bit from cars might very well
Right.
overlap there.
So the micromobility study, this is a map without going through the whole micromobility study. This map here shows the 2 priority routes that have been, let me zoom into this area because this is a good, which area do I want to zoom into? Give me 1 second to get my bearings here. Okay, let's do this one. This shows what the 2 priorities that came out of the micromobility study were. And one is they're calling the Middlebush-Williams route. This is something I've been looking at a lot lately. So this would correspond with what Robert just pointed out. One thing here is this purple here is a proposed shared use path. And this would basically be a connection between Franklin Middle School and Hillcrest Elementary School that would basically then allow this path to kind of cut through both schools. So that's one example of, I don't know if there's something we can do in there. They talk about putting in bike corrals, they're called, bike repair stations. That's something maybe we can advocate for along the trail, putting in bike paths, bike corrals, bike repair stations.
That's a great little, advocate to have a trail created there, because making that connection makes biking safer and
Right.
predominantly for a population that is.
Let me zoom in.
Middle schoolers tend not to have driver's licenses.
Right, right. This is A1. Let me zoom into A3. Okay. So this is what we're talking about here. So basically this is showing a way to get from Naaman Williams to Middlebush. That's why they call it Williams Middlebush. The cool thing is it basically brings you right past the youth center and in between these 2 schools if we can make this connection. So that's something we could focus on. That could be a project for us.
So how would you get from Naaman Williams to Hillcrest School?
So you basically, you have your existing path here in Naaman Williams. And then you can follow it. How does it go? I think you want to follow it.
You go on the streets, I mean, you don't not use,
Yes.
streets,
You
but.
go on the street, and then they
The
have,
black dash?
if you go, the black dash, I think, just denotes the project
I think that's
area.
the
Proposed
corridor.
That's the
That's the
corridor, yeah.
corridor.
Yeah, that's to turn Parkside Street into a little bit more of a bicycle boulevard.
Right.
So improvements to the road that'll make it safer for bicyclists, but to designate it as a safe, or a place where you try to make improvements to make the safe corridor. But to make the continuous corridor, and the thing that we could probably have most impact on, especially given that we're about to head into a period where there's not a ton of money in budgets,
Yeah.
is to concentrate on that little bit of non-road trail that's
Yeah.
missing. The black,
Yeah.
I think that's the black line, right?
So they say here, so they list it out in text. So to make A3 happen, we would be specifically looking at this, the Dutton Street path. It's a narrow neighborhood street that quickly transitions to an informal maintenance-oriented path between the athletic fields. So what they recommend is we pave the existing path between the athletic fields and extend a shared use path to Franklin Boulevard leading to Norma Avenue. And then once you get to the crossing at Norma Avenue, so they recommend installing advanced signs and curb extensions. Consider providing, this is those beacons, those flashing beacons. Then they have bicycle boulevard components, complete the sidewalk. So we literally could take this table and say, we're going to focus on this because this is the missing piece. So basically what they recommend is paving this. It's existing apparently because it's like a desire path.
Even the red stone that we use
Yeah.
elsewhere would be a step up, right, from what
We could focus on this and potentially putting in, what else could we put in there, an amenity? That would be like a nice amenity. Like, would that be a good spot for a bike repair station?
Yeah, I mean,
or-
anything that you can get, right? Aim
Yeah.
for paving and a
Yeah.
bike repair station, bike rack, right, parking.
Now, this was through the grant that did this study, right?
So we got a grant to complete a community energy plan from New
Uh-huh.
Jersey Board of Public Utilities. When we did that, we ended up using that grant money with their permission to create this micro-mobility study instead. And so, so this was done. Now, we only had $10,000, so we couldn't do a
Yeah.
township-wide one. We only did this area.
No, I guess I'm just wondering, the people from Franklin Middle School and Hillcrest School, like, what do they think?
That I'm not 100%. That would be part of our project.
Yeah,
We would
I
go
was
to
just-
school. We would work with them. We would present to
Uh-huh.
council and ask for the money from. So
If
that
I
would
read
be
this-
all of us.
If I read this correctly, that line represents one of those places where the ground is worn, right? Because
Yes.
people are already using it as
It's a
path,
desire path, basically. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know that. Like,
that's what the report
It
says.
is. Yeah. It's
It-
like worn down.
It's worn down there?
It's a desire path, basically. Yeah. So.
It's like field,
Yeah.
a field.
There's kind of woods on one side, right? And then there's like the athletic fields.
Yeah, the athletic field is, yeah.
There's a big hill. Like, there's a big hill going from the middle school fields down to Franklin Boulevard. So that's why I didn't, okay.
It's kind of like
So if we were to
where
take the.
number 9 is, that little baseball field, and then there's the slope there.
Yeah.
Right. So
Franklin
us
Boulevard.
taking on a project like this would be a great project for us, but it would be, so we're obviously not going to go out there and build a path, but what it would be is we would propose it to the council. If they said yes, we would then be like, okay, we're going to speak to the school district and see if they're okay with this. And if we need permission or this or that, then it would be putting together a cost estimate and getting the approval to actually put it in. And at the same time, we should think about the amenities that should be there. There probably should be a bike repair station, and maybe there should even be, I don't know what else, we'd have to think.
Wait, I'm sorry, where's Hamilton Street on here?
Hamilton, this is Hillcrest. Hamilton, this is 27.
There, yeah.
So it's here.
It's Hamilton.
Yeah, right there.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Francis Street goes to Amwell Hamilton, yeah.
I think that would be a good connection between the middle school and of course the elementary too, to the youth center.
I think so too.
That should be the,
Yeah. Now, in order to make this whole thing work, there's these options that have to be done. But if we start off with this path, now we're making the missing connection. And then after that, we really could go, because a lot of it is like extending the curb, putting these flashing lights in. It's not, there's not a ton of, that's really the biggest thing, is this paving and getting any approvals and et cetera.
I'm sorry, could you go back to the map? I asked about Hamilton, I really meant Franklin Boulevard.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's right in front of Hillcrest.
Yeah.
So
That zippered line?
that zippered line,
The train tracks.
that's Franklin Boulevard.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I thought, so I'm imagining this, I'm like, huh.
I'm trying to see it on the Google Maps, right? You can see the,
It's right in the middle of the cross-country course, all that stuff we're talking about. I know those hills well.
yeah, it's like the baseball field, right? As you were saying, there's a baseball field there, and I mean, there is a hill.
Yeah.
Right, but you can definitely see how improving, right, transport there.
You do a lot of.
Yeah, because from the street is like a downhill and then it turns to gravel.
It's a
dangerous place.
Curve.
It is
Also, and
dangerous.
this
Yeah,
will
curve
encourage
is a
students
tricky
to
spot.
use their bike for home and school, between home and school. And when we say bike, it include e-bike also, right? And these are the students, they will like to try to do some stunt also, because they get the special path for bike or e-bike, right?
Yeah.
So they will do stunt and other things, and those things would
Crossing the Franklin Boulevard.
And Norma goes downhill.
Yes.
Right downhill into Franklin Boulevard, so you can.
Yes.
That, right, if you're going the other
Into the hill,
direction.
yeah. And
That's a
e-bike
good
might, the battery issues also, it happened in New York, many incidents with the battery.
I think what the consultant is saying, which probably is true, is that, upon their inspection, there are people using it. There are definitely, so we can, the idea is like, make it, put the signals in, pave it, make it, because.
Make it safer.
They have to make it as safe as possible,
Yep.
especially keeping the students in mind, the school students, because there are
Absolutely.
2 schools.
Yeah.
I think figuring out is that, I guess they're recommending that we leave it there and we don't try to move it to a different spot. Because my only other thought is when you were pointing out the curve, I know my parents live on New Brunswick Road, where it curves, and it's very
That
dangerous.
is the most dangerous
It is so dangerous because people just zoom around that corner, and then even if they see you, by the time they see you, it's too late.
So we're talking about right around in here somewhere. So this is Norma Ave.
Yep.
Okay, this is Norma, this is Franklin Boulevard. This is Hillcrest,
Hillcrest.
and this is Franklin Middle School.
Right, and they were saying right in front of the football field, this is what they were saying to extend it, but I don't know.
No, it's not quite there. It's here. It's Norma's where the crossing.
It's at
is.
Norma.
You see you see this?
So they want to make it direct.
Here, right?
People are
And then to
going
add-
over there,
and
yes.
This is the path.
Connects to
That's
there.
what people are talking
okay.
about. Now here, you're right, it's a steep incline, right? So it would have to be, something like that, if you look at the shape, there's a weird shape in the drawing.
Yeah, here, I'll
But
bring it
people are
up.
doing this anyway, they're crossing
Okay.
here, right? So yeah, see what, it's like to come around like that. So if you jump back to the other picture, right? So if you saw that this is Norm Avenue. it's
They're
like-
going around that
that's
hill,
the-
yeah.
You're doing
Yeah.
something like this, but if you can, the point is that what the report is saying is if you go there, you'll see the, desire path, as you
Correct,
called it.
yeah.
And where it's worn, where people are walking anyway. So why don't we make the improvements that are required to
You
to
kind of
make
a little
it
see it
safer,
almost where it comes
right?
out of the woods there.
Yeah.
You can kind of barely see it, yeah,
Here,
see?
this
Yeah.
bit, right?
So, but can you go back to the recommended?
Advocate for improvements. Now, this is the straight path. You cross here, you'll get killed. And I agree with you. You guys figure out how to slow down the traffic, but make the improvements here so that
But where
the
does it
crossings
hit,
made.
Tara? Where does it hit? So it hits at Norma, you're saying?
Yeah.
Approximately, yeah.
So it's on, I'm trying to understand on the side, what side of the shrubs?
It's on the left side, so it's
It's
going
on,
beyond the
yeah.
shrubs. So, see,
It's on
beyond.
here?
J.
By the driveway?
No, it's making a J
Oh.
right where, yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
can
Yeah.
see it a little
right.
bit. You can see the
here.
wearing right there.
And then around
You can't
like
see it
that.
in the woods, but you can see the wearing where it comes out and
Yeah.
connecting. That's what
But you're
people are
saying,
doing.
okay, so but you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not been surveyed or anything, so it's not 100% accurate, but you can see people are coming through here, they're coming out of there, and they're shooting right over. Now, with that connection done, you can literally then make it all the way over to, the Middlebush area.
Mm-hmm.
By using streets and once striping is upgraded and it's not just like, hey, now go, it's ready. But the more, if we can put in the flashing lights and the correct signals and the striping over time, but that's the thing, as of right now, basically, unless you're willing to do this, what people are already doing, you get to Norma and basically you come to a stop.
Well, I mean, you take your life into your own hands.
Right. I mean, most kids are probably told, go ahead.
Which may be the reason why not a lot of kids are doing it. So if we are going to we need to make sure that the traffic is taken care of. Because we are actually introducing a whole range of
Correct.
We're not introducing anything. There's
right, exactly. So and the kids know that, okay, there is not a proper road, so if I'm going to do it, I'm taking a risk. So they kind of hesitate.
There's a crosswalk there.
Well, there is a crosswalk.
Yeah, there's a crosswalk there. We're not introducing anything except,
There is.
yes.
But it's dangerous. Oh, I shouldn't say it's dangerous. There's a crosswalk, but
Yeah.
It is dangerous, and there's a large apartment complex right down the road, so that's where all the kids are.
Pretty populated area.
So it's,
the other thing the consultant did, which is helpful, as part of the project, they gave us a cost estimate. It is very basic. It's like, basically, like we're engineers and we know roughly how much this is gonna cost. But if you look here, so what we're looking to do is this 10-foot wide shared use path. Is that correct? Yes. So they're basically saying, it could be upwards of, $133,000 by the time you do all the safety.
That's everything.
Yeah, right.
I think that's everything in this in the entire proposal. We're only talking about one little.
That is, that's for the whole path. Yeah, we're talking
But
about
that one little path,
connection,
not the whole proposal.
Yeah.
That little section by Norma Avenue to the football field.
Yes.
across the street from Norma Avenue.
Yeah.
Yes, across the street.
But the lighting and stuff.
Even these
the
beacons,
visibility
though, look.
stuff.
Well, I think that's right
beacons
above
are
it, high
20 grand.
visibility crosswalks.
High visibility crosswalk, you can get 2 crosswalks. It looks like they're $840 each. But here, north side of sidewalk allowance, and 60 grand if you include the sidewalk. So here's the situation, though. So if we were to take this on as our project, yes, this is money, right? But if we are going to advocate for it, we have to explain spending this money is going to connect people from Naaman Williams Park through these 2 schools past our new youth center. So we made sure that the path proposed goes right past the youth center. So it goes the other way too. People coming from school now, they've passed the youth center, maybe they go in more, maybe they feel more comfortable, maybe they know the area better. There's nothing wrong with spending money, but that would be part of our job, is to advocate why. And we have the evidence, we have the mapping, we have the cost. So that would be our project. Like, hey, in terms of like local health assessment and micromobility, this is going to improve health this way. It's going to improve micromobility this way, and this is why I recommend it. I think it's a good project, and it makes sense to us. I mean, it's not a whole path, but it really,
I mean, the path part is the tiny little piece of it. I don't.
It is.
These numbers are for everything that's in
Yeah.
this giant micromobility proposal. This is a tiny little piece of it.
Those numbers were for that little piece we were looking at.
this is
I think it was.
This here, this is number 9, the 10-foot wide shared use path.
Yeah, but that's over. I mean, we don't
Paved.
necessarily need all that.
That includes the paving, the permitting.
Massively
yeah.
overkill for
Yeah.
what I think ultimately, matters there. I think what really matters is improving the safety of the Norma,
Well, that's the estimate that they're giving us.
I
Like,
get
we
it.
have to anticipate that.
I understand.
So I don't want to dismiss that number.
I'm not dismissing the number. I'm saying
We have to anticipate.
that's for a
that
10
we'll
foot
get
wide shared use path,
10
and
foot,
I think,
yeah, we
and I
can
think
reduce
that's.
it, or maybe they want to go with it.
Yeah.
But everything's expensive, and that's fine. The other thing is
Max
that the
numbers.
NJ, the New Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, and the New Jersey Department of Transportation, they have this thing called a lending library. It's like an equipment lending library. We could actually borrow, you could borrow these beacons. You can borrow certain types of signage for an amount of, it's almost like a library, but for transportation items. And we can see how it works before we commit to something. So that's another thing we could say, hey, we'll try to get some of these things from the lending library.
So, how's everybody feeling about it? I mean, there was a bunch of different ideas. We kind of stopped at this one.
Yeah, I honestly, when I saw this one too, I was like, that is probably a good one, because it really, it meets our mission. it meets what we're trying to do, which is a health project and a trails project. And it's different than what we normally do. I mean, we could go the other way and do more events and things like that, but this would be us basically getting behind something that the town has already committed money to and already like wanted to study.
And you
And
know
in
that there's
terms
a
of-
big hill there.
And they know there's a big hill there, yes.
From the fields down to
Yeah.
Franklin Boulevard.
And in terms of the concept of micro-mobility, right, the point is to improve non-automobile, right, ability to move in the town.
Right.
And that is a break point, right? Exactly as you say, for the reasons of the terrain, for the reasons of the road, and the way Franklin Boulevard is a higher speed road than it kind of needs to be. I think if we bring awareness, right? I think that would be our role, is to think of the awareness is that this is the point, this is the linking point, right? That would end up connecting these two neighborhoods and would improve the most utility for the most number of people, right? You got kids that have to go to school and they all live on the other side, right, of Franklin Boulevard. So how do you make that connection point between those two things? And then it ends up opening up a corridor, a non-automobile corridor all the way through town, right? All the way to the library, frankly, in Middlebush Park.
I agree. And
I want to hear some other voices.
I think, can I just say one quick thing? I think it builds too on other work we've done. Like we've done the green infrastructure work at Naaman Williams Park, so it really kind of builds upon those kinds of things, which is great. I like it. Anybody else have any ideas, or it's something to get behind? We don't have to decide this.
I really have to think about it, because
Yeah.
I drove from Naaman Williams through there. It's a hard go on a bike. And
It's just streets and cars parked on the streets.
there's cars
and-
parked on the streets, people coming and going really fast. It's downhill from Norma into Franklin Boulevard. I know what you're saying about putting a path in between those, but is encouraging that a good thing?
Well,
Without
can they just have
Let 'em finish.
crossing
I wanna let
at
people
Norma, because
talk
there is
without having-
sidewalks.
Yeah, that,
Are
By
the sidewalks on
Hillcrest.
both sides? Do they go all the way up the hill? I'm trying to remember if they go.
Oh, what's
all the way
that?
up.
I'm sorry.
Sidewalks go from Hillcrest all the way up Franklin Boulevard.
yes, they do.
I think on the Hillcrest side, there's
No,
there's
there's
nothing
nothing
on
on the other
the,
side.
on the Norma.
Yeah.
And could we make this street safer for bikes if we're encouraging people to bike through?
Yeah, that would be
I have a really
going down the
serious
road.
question about that,
Yeah.
because it's,
We can't
people go
do.
fast and there's parked
Yeah.
cars, and
I know what you're saying.
it just scares me, kids on bikes there.
We could, so we definitely could look at a different project. We don't have to decide tonight, because it's like our own project that we're trying to decide on. There's no time limit. We could recommend that the other things get done first, but basically having all those signals and striping changes done without the ability to actually cross. So it's almost like you need that complete and then make it the whole. So I understand what you're saying. I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know which is better first.
Yeah, I
you
don't know. I have to think it through a little bit, because I wasn't thinking about that particular path.
I agree what she said.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful idea, great idea, very beneficial, but my only concern is the safety.
Yeah. We could even go out and look at it. We can think of another project, but for tonight's purposes, I think we went through this project and maybe we keep it on for next meeting and keep looking through other projects and see, maybe in the meantime, if you guys do have a chance to go look at it, look at the area, maybe do that. Does that make
Go and
sense?
see that area, spend some time standing there watching people.
I'd even like to
passing
walk
by.
it. I like to know who's walking there too. I don't.
So I just have a couple thoughts. Like, I just want to make sure everyone has,
Yeah.
has a say in what we're talking
Yeah.
about. And I thought we were kind of like going through everything and then going to kind of go back. And I think we kind of drill down with this, which is a really great one
Yeah.
to drill down on. But there's a couple things I'm wondering. Like, what do the people who live there think? And what do the people who work there at those schools think? Because, I don't know the ins and the outs, right? Like,
Right.
where do people cross naturally who are being safe?
Right.
Like, I want to know that. Like, I
Well,
want to know
that
where
would be
that's
part of the
happening.
project. Like if we decide
Yeah.
to take that on before we presented anything, that would be part of our work of the project.
And the other thing is, like, I was really excited before when you were talking about mental health, and like, I just know how much nature
Yeah.
is such
Yeah.
a mental health reset.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to dismiss our opportunity to really pull people. Like you were talking about at-risk teens, at-risk youth, like pulling them in and doing that with some intention. Like we've never talked about that before. I would love to talk about that a bit more. Doesn't have to be our main goal, but just something to consider.
There's a lot of things we can use. I mean, wellness, nature, the whole total wellness of a human being.
And I know that we had kind of moved away. We used to like sponsor the whole walk and roll, and we moved away from that as a committee, saying that wasn't our priority focus.
Right.
That the trails were our priority focus, not streets.
Right.
So like these are all things that are just running through my head. I like all of these things. Like I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I just want us to just factor in those different pieces.
Yeah.
And Tara, not for anything, but this is a heavy lift for you
Yes.
more than any of us.
Yes.
So it's so easy for us.
Oh, yes. Yes,
We're not
indeed.
doing anything. We're just going to give you our opinion and we're going to go check it out. But so it's really your heavy lift.
Yeah.
And if you're passionate about it, we're going to factor that in.
No,
We didn't finish the whole thing. We just.
We didn't get through the whole thing, but it's going to take time to get through it because we're trying to basically look at 2 big reports and figure out what is best for us, right? Now, the mental health walks and stuff, we might be like, hey, let's add that on to our list of walks, and that's a project too, but it's an easier project for us to kind of get our bearings.
But are they partnering with the right people? Are you partnering with people who are focused on mental health? Have them, instead of walk with the cop, walk with a therapist.
Yeah, that's true.
Walk with an ally, walk with an
There
advocate.
must be some organizations that you can pair up with that would sponsor things like this. They're already doing it. Like in the Franklin Soccer Club, they have this program, Top Soccer, where it's special needs kids, and then they have high school volunteer kids as their buddies to help them with the soccer. Or you could do something with the parents, or it's parents with their special needs kids. But I'm sure there's organizations that would know. Because this Top Soccer, it wasn't just created by Franklin Soccer. It was something that an organization that's already in existence, and they probably give you guidance and
that's
how
true.
they do it. So you're not reinventing the wheel. So it seems that it's going on for a number of years. So
It's almost like makes me think about therapeutic rec. Like, it's kind of like that need meeting our resource where we can just kind of, like if there's somebody already who's wanting to do this, has the organization, has the connections, and we're like, okay, we'll lead the hike.
Right, absolutely.
So
All right.
we're gonna
so
come back
much
to
to
this?
do. I'm getting overwhelmed.
No, but there's a lot of great options.
Let's keep it on the agenda again for next month. I would say Anne Marie, Jignasha, and Vanessa, anybody, if you do have a chance to go there and just peek, I would say before the next meeting, it'd probably be helpful, if you want.
If
You
I
don't
could
have
park
to.
in Hillcrest School and go back down to the sidewalk and go back up, would I find that path that we're talking about? Right, would I?
Presumably.
I can show you. We ride our bikes at the track that goes around the football field.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, from our house, what is it? Lebed, and
Oh,
then
that
goes
way.
all the way.
Oh, yeah,
Goes
yeah.
straight to those fields. Yeah.
Oh, in the
Well,
back
let's
there.
look at it, and when we do get a project,
Drive and park.
we'll take our time with it. We'll go through all the steps.
It's exciting. This is really exciting. Thank
It
you.
is,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm right, that I'm way more interested in trails as transportation infrastructure.
Yes, you are,
Rather
yeah.
than, weekend therapeutic
Yeah.
stuff that you drive.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am excited about something like this,
Yeah.
being the goal, but I get it. There's a lot of different, different types of interests. So this is looking at it as transportation infrastructure,
Yeah.
right, in the town.
If
And
we
I think, by the way, the very reason that you have concerns that it is a relatively speaking unsafe connection is the exact point, right, for why you should invest in making it a safer thing. Will we be able to get everything that's listed, in the plan? Maybe not, but I think what's really important is it is clearly a connection. I think we should go take a look at it and see if it's a use connection, and then think about what can we do to improve this connection point as part of the transportation infrastructure of the town, right? And that would be, and that's where I see our mandate, kicking in, because it's a non-automobile transportation.
Yeah,
And if it's unsafe, then maybe that's something worth trying to make safer.
yeah.
That's the perspective that I see it from.
I just want to verify that proposal is the best proposal.
Oh yeah, that's
Because,
right.
like you're saying, like if we don't want to encourage people to use a route that maybe isn't the best.
Yeah.
And we might want to modify that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm no expert.
I think it's-
I'm hoping that that's.
It's close to that curve.
I think it's the connection to Norma, right, that
Yeah.
is what, because if you look at, the Norma ends up connecting you.
We're gonna come back to this.
Stuff.
We're gonna come back to this.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
no.
that these are good things, and like I said, that this is a really heavy lift for
I
Tara.
think you're right. It's a lot to
more than
look
it
at.
is for us.
Yeah.
And so we might want to pick two things, something that's gonna be a heavier lift for us, the table,
This is,
you know,
Correct.
and for
this
Tara.
is more, I mean, we can't really do anything about this, right? This is more like, what are we gonna advocate?
We stand
Advocate, yes,
Yeah.
advocate. It would be a lot of advocating, it would be a lot of meeting, writing letters, writing up a scope of work. It would be work, but it wouldn't be, yes, like us
Yeah.
picking the contractors and things like that, but.
You can't spend them, we don't have any money to spend.
Yeah.
If you're trying to convince somebody else, then it's
Can't
money.
get a
All right, we have 20
I
minutes.
can run
That's
through
right.
old business
And
really
then we're
quick if you
gonna
want.
move on to old business, sure.
Okay. So Pathways and Trails Plan is, we keep getting bumped from the planning board agenda to get the adoption because the amount of,
Warehouses?
like at the Environmental Commission, we just reviewed 3 warehouses. So, and that was in one night, that was Monday. So, you know.
Approved?
So they're applying for D variances, which are use variances, because warehouses are not permitted anymore as of right. But the Environmental Commission doesn't approve them. So we send in our comments and then the planning board will hear them, but then they place them on an agenda and then it's like, oh, Tara, we have 3 warehouses. Because when these warehouses happen, you know, the whole neighborhood comes out. So it's done. It's on, you know, it's listed. It's basically done. The planning board has reviewed it. We've reviewed it. Open Space has reviewed it. Everyone has it. It's just a matter of getting it actually physically adopted. But it's there. That's all I can say. So as soon as they let me go, I will be there. You know, I was supposed to go April 2nd and I got bumped. I was supposed to go April 16th, bumped. And now it looks like I've been bumped yet again for May 2nd, but keep trying my best.
We're gonna reclaim our time.
I know.
Get back on
But
there.
we're on there. It's on our website and everything. I mean, I've referenced it in grants already. It's
Okay.
like, you know,
So profile of a trail.
I don't know where we are with that.
I owe you one. I have
Okay.
submitted. It's in progress.
Excellent.
I want to make another pass and another walk before I'm ready. But now, deadlines help. They concentrate the mind. I start a new job in 2 weeks, so
Oh, good
I
for
got
you.
2 more weeks of being free, and so I promise next meeting I will have my.
And what trail?
thing. It's the Bunker Hill Environmental Center area, right? So that's where I've.
Perfect. And Anne Marie, you were working on.
I have like a rough draft, but I don't know if anyone can read it but me. So maybe it's a little bit too rough. But I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm heading in the right direction.
I had done a draft one. I shared that with you several months
but
ago.
then I kind of got inspired.
I like the idea of there being a lot of pros and tell you why you like the thing and what you like
That's what I
about
want to copy
it.
though.
All right. A burning hotspot, right?
Don't read it out loud. No.
Oh, I want to read it out loud. Can I take a picture of
We
it?
do have 20 minutes.
No, don't read it.
17 minutes now.
Do you want to type it up, Anne Marie? And then how about you type it and send it to Vanessa and she can like proofread it or whatever? Because you offered to do that before,
I did.
right? Proofread?
I did.
Okay, so why don't we do that? Do you want me to take a picture of it with my phone in case
Yes.
you lose it or the dog eats
Is that
it?
kind of
Or?
like script or cursive or what? Do they teach
I
that anymore?
just kind of go with the flow.
You and I connected in between is helpful for me.
We didn't do it this
We
month.
haven't.
I know, we
We
didn't do
haven't
it
done
this
it in a
month.
few months.
Yeah.
So let's do the next one.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, sounds good.
That reminds me to remind
Because I did it
Yeah.
as the viewpoint of someone who's arriving on the scene. Like, what would you see? What would
Yeah, I
draw
like
you
that.
out?
I think that's smart.
Well, I don't
All
know
right,
if
send it to Vanessa and she'll proofread it.
I don't think there's any way.
Yes, I think,
Just a
yes.
way of doing it.
It's like your opinion. It's like an op-ed. That's what it's like, yeah.
It's a little nutty.
Okay. The vacancies on trails, me and Vanessa spoke about this. The one woman that's expressed interest in joining us,
Yeah.
she went on vacation for a while. I sent her the citizen volunteer form. I haven't heard back. I know Anna said that she was going on like a pretty lengthy vacation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow up with her again at the end of the week. And if she's not interested, then we're okay how we are. It's just that we can have more people. So I would say if you know someone or you think someone would be a great fit, feel free to reach out to them. It can be your husband or wife or partner, child, uncle,
had
Get more people now that we're doing
And we
more
had a
events.
couple of people at last year's National Trails Day. One of the people who like had met you, I guess, at another hike,
Yeah.
and then one
I
was the
remember that.
man who had the daughter
The
florist.
conversation.
Yes,
They
yes,
were both interested. We didn't have any vacancies then.
yes.
So now, we could also try to like look back through the contact
I
information.
have the gentleman's name and number, phone number. I will reach out to him.
Okay, yeah.
Sent him stuff too.
And then it's like whoever gets here first, because it's like Pravesh, when you came on, and Robert, you guys both came on kind of almost at the same
Kind of,
time.
yeah,
It worked
one-
out good.
month after.
So we had two people that were interested. I think Robert came first, then you came shortly afterwards. So maybe we'll have a spot like that. Who knows? That would be great.
How many vacancies? There's two or?
Two, yep.
So we
So.
have someone who sounds really strong, who was on
Yeah,
vacation.
but she's not responding to anything, so it's like, I don't know.
Maybe she
I don't
vacations
know.
hard. She's
Yes, yes. I'll be like, I need you to respond to me.
Extended vacation.
So we'll keep following up on that. The projects for 2025, I made printed copies for everyone. I updated it based on our last meeting. There's nothing to be done. If you want to just keep it handy, if you're ever like, I really feel like doing a lot of extra work for the Trails Advisory Committee, you can refer to that and, but it's just, and then it's a living document, so.
I do have two quick questions.
Yeah.
Right, as we were looking at the February minutes, there was, wasn't there a young man doing a presentation about how he was going to do some repairs?
Yes.
Did he ever do that? Is there a follow-up?
He's working on it, so he wants to
progress.
start doing it next weekend. He emailed us, we'll start working on it next weekend.
Well, this coming weekend, right?
This coming weekend,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
He wants to start working on this coming weekend. We did encounter a little snafu, which is basically so you know how there's you can't bring your car into Nagarina Podi, and he wanted us to open up the gate for him. And we can't do that. We cannot do that because there's two reasons. The first is if we open that gate for him and other cars come in, our insurance actually doesn't cover the vehicular access. Second is that it's nesting bird season, and the last time that we let a car even too close to the field, we got annihilated.
Right.
So it's very unfortunate though because he's doing benches, so it's gonna be hard for him to do
You have to get a
this.
cart.
But yeah, that's all he can do.
I just like moving forward, I want to be more aware because he had in his proposal that he would need vehicular access. I didn't think again with that. You know what I mean?
I didn't
So
even
moving
think though he
forward-
meant coming all the way in. Like I never even thought he meant I want to
No.
drive all the way in. Because no one's really ever done that. So I was like, he surely doesn't.
Because he
mean
talks
that.
about building the benches off-site,
Right.
transporting them, putting them there, putting gravel underneath
Correct.
them. So like doing that through a wheelbarrow is going to be
Yes.
difficult.
But that's what all of our other
But-
Boy Scouts have done, so that's why I didn't even think of it, right? Now DPW will deliver the gravel at the spots, and he can just move, and they'll deliver a wheelbarrow, but he can't drive his
How
car
is
in there.
DPW being on the land any different than?
Well, because they're, staff, they're covered. Our vehicles,
Oh,
they're
insurance
covered,
wise.
yes.
They're the ones with the keys to the gate.
Yeah.
Insurance-wise.
So maybe you can pass on the material to them and they can take it in?
They said that they will deliver the gravel and whatever, if he needs supplies, but they cannot here's a problem. I guess what they could do is maybe they could meet him when the benches are finished, because
Yeah.
they're not gonna be finished, the benches yet. So maybe they could meet him when they're finished and they can.
Yeah,
That'd
they
be-
drop it in.
Yeah.
We could do that, but that's not for this weekend. There's no way that's
No,
happening
I
this
think so.
weekend, yeah.
No.
But he wouldn't be done anyway, but,
I don't think so.
yeah. We can definitely do that, but,
Okay.
yeah, we can
Maybe
do that.
we can,
Place with them and.
So when would, so I know it's nesting bird season. When would have been a good time?
Well, it would have never been a good time for him, but it's definitely the worst time ever. Is nesting bird season.
So when's
But
nesting
he's
bird season?
April 15th to August 31st, right?
Could be.
Or September 15th.
So I guess what I'm wondering about is what DPW is doing a danger?
To the nesting birds, they're not allowed to mow there between April 15th. They have to drive their car in there sometimes. We have no choice because we own the property, but they are told to take precautions there and at John Clyde during nesting bird season. Yes, one time we mowed there on September 1st, and it was like complete disaster. Complete and utter disaster.
Many people were upset.
Very upset.
Okay.
very, very upset, yes.
Just 30 seconds, I have one follow-up question, not about this, but we did the walk on 518 property.
Oh, right.
Any of the data we provided useful, or?
Yeah, so I have your information. I haven't,
Yeah, great.
honestly, I haven't done anything with it yet, but I will, absolutely. So, no, I think that's great. So,
Okay, fair
yeah, that is, we gotta put that on, we'll put that on the
We're
next
short,
agenda.
short on time. I just,
No, we
that was
gotta
pretty fun,
add
I'm
that.
all ready to do it again if we.
Yep. We'll add that to the next agenda to talk about the next steps with that. That's a good reminder. There's so many projects that sometimes it's like, well, hunting just ended too.
We're gonna
Luckily,
make that
thank
trail
God.
a wellness trail.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. That was
There
the
you
most
go.
fun I had on this,
Aw.
we want to do it again. I'm
Glad.
ready to
Good.
do it, and for the next 2 weeks, I can do it whenever.
You could do it at this place. That's
Just watch it on
go with
spring
them.
break. We're on
Yeah.
spring break next week.
You guys should go all together before he goes
We'll
back to
hang out on
work.
Franklin Boulevard
Yeah.
by Norma.
All right.
That is my first plan is Norma and Franklin.
Yeah, during arrival or dismissal at school time.
Yes.
Cross back and forth and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
See
I'm
how
just
long-
sitting here, but I'm speed done, speed radar done.
You know, walked it.
Okay,
And we-
next, moving on.
Oh, yeah, the
The
hikes.
problem is crossing the streams.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirts.
No t-shirts. The budget is still not there, so no t-shirts until the budget's in. No t-shirts.
Hopefully they're long sleeve.
I have the same problem with the Environmental Commission. They want to go to the Sustainability Summit and they can't go because the budget's not approved. It's like, it's very irritating. The Spring Community Hike, Jignasha, I know you're doing April
Yeah, I'm doing
19th.
April
The
19th.
flyer has been posted.
I saw it.
Good.
It's perfect.
Good. Okay, so the flyer's been posted and we're all set there.
And that's at John Clyde.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's April 19th at 9:30.
Which group is this? What group is this?
She's just holding a Spring
It's
Community
open to
Hike.
community.
All ages?
Yeah. All ages open to community. Yes.
And what's your focus?
It's all about the plant ecology and ecosystems.
What kind of help do you need?
I don't think I need help. I will be fine. Yeah.
She's like, I'll be fine. Don't bother me.
I need people. That's it. On trail.
Yeah.
That's all.
Love it.
Bring people.
Did people sign up yet?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I'm like, maybe as
I
the day come
will-
close, I will ask her how many
Yeah,
people
I'll ask
registered.
So I don't like
So
doing
far, I
it
didn't.
by myself because I feel like you always need a caboose, depending on how many people are in your group.
I'm with you.
Because I don't like to have to be paranoid about the end. Like, so when you're leading, like, you're responsible then for the last person not getting lost. So that's why I always think it's always good, unless it's a really
Have a
small
mix.
group that you can all have right together, it's always good to have at least a caboose.
Yeah, that's right. But I think it's Easter Day weekend, right? Easter weekend, 19th April.
It's Easter weekend,
So I
yeah.
really don't know.
Oh,
You all must be busy during that
I won't
time.
be here, I'm sorry.
19th.
yeah.
But I think that's gonna be a really good hike, and right before,
that's-
so I'm leaving for vacation on Wednesday the 17th, so I will
yeah.
email Rec on the 17th, and I'll get those like registrants for you, and I'll email it to you, so you at least have it.
If there are few people only registered, then I don't need to worry about it. But if it is like a big crowd, which I don't think it would be, then I will reach out to.
I think I'm available, I have it on my calendar.
Yeah.
Just
I
text
have it on
us.
my calendar, so, yeah.
I'll get those registration numbers to you, but yeah, the flyer's been posted, it's on all of our social media, and I think we're in good shape, so, okay. All right. The Walk with Therapeutic Rec, that flyer was that was done by Maria. It's been posted, and she is going to keep an eye on the registrants and let us know. That's Sunday, April 27th at 10 a.m. at Naaman Williams. I did speak to the rec director, so many of the fitness stations are accessible, handicapped accessible, or able to be modified for specific exercise. We know for a fact, because I was involved with the community garden design, I specifically made sure that those aisle widths were wheelchair accessible and the height of the garden beds are accessible for people of all ages and abilities. So we're going to show them that, or I should say really Maria's going to be leading it, but she'll show them that. She'll show them the fitness stations will be there to help, and the path is an easy walk. Hopefully it's a nice day. So that is all set to go too.
So that includes people of all abilities,
You're
Yeah.
saying just like, so they
Yeah.
can show them the fitness stations?
Anyone is welcome, but Maria really will have a lot of participants from the therapeutic rec program. So hopefully, oh, and also the pool also has a chairlift. So she's going to really focus on that, hopefully bring more of them to Nathan Williams Park, so.
I'm just wondering, because it's listed as a nature walk, and I was like, oh, not much nature there. Did we want to do, I mean, I'm going to go and try to use those fitness things, so I know what I'm doing when I get there.
Yeah.
But do we want to, is it, nature is in the title? Are we focusing on nature at all? Do I need to bring the binoculars? Do we?
You can if you want. I mean,
it's
there's
a
not
very
a ton of
short
nature,
area.
but
Really?
where the back playground is, that's where another Boy Scout just did a project there, and he did a green infrastructure project, but he put in a bunch of plants. He took a shrub out and regraded the land, and so you can focus on that. There is that wooded area which we don't want people to go in. I guess you could focus on the community garden.
Not at all? We can't go to the edge of it?
You can, you can go on the edge of it, yeah, but I don't know if it would be accessible to go in like the way like Ted Chase went in, for example, for the participants of this walk. If they feel like they want to and they feel safe, then they're welcome. They're absolutely welcome. I just don't know if it would be, I guess Maria would know best, but yeah, so you can focus on that for sure. They made the flyer and she likes to call it nature walk because she's trying to say like, we're going out in nature, so
I just didn't know how naturey nature was.
Yes, I hear you.
Binocular nature, or because it's a very small area that we could actually.
I would bring the binoculars if you don't mind.
No, it's
And because
fine.
then they can use them,
I think it's nature adjacent. I think as much
Yeah.
nature as we can pull in. There are trees and there's going to be all kinds of stuff like that. It's not going to be in the woods, but I think we're near the woods.
Oh, absolutely,
And
near it, yeah.
I want to go take a look and just see if, even if there's like a spot that would make sense, that we could just have them to go in.
Yeah,
People who
Not
are
be too
comfortable.
bad.
Yeah.
yeah, that works.
I'm going to scope it out too.
The native plants, Pravesh, with the EC. I got an email from Jenny Kafas. Do you want to just update everyone quickly on this?
Yeah, Jenny, I guess we had found a speaker that was available to give the talk, but I believe Jenny was not able to put in her time. I think she did take up some part-time job. Or
Yes, she did, yes. So the volunteer, Jenny, from the
Yeah.
Environmental Commission, she's been working with Pravesh, but she has a time constraint now because she got a different job. So you guys agreed to have it for next year,
right, yes, we
instead, because they're going to miss the season, but next year they can have this partnership. And the EC agreed with that and was like, because Jenny, none of them have the bandwidth to work like any more than they are, they told me. So really, if Jenny can't do it, it's like a no-go.
No, yes.
Which is but you're okay with it being next year?
I'm totally okay, yeah.
And we can still do other walks that involve native plants at another place if you want. Can be whatever you want.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm trying to see, what I can, and I think this spring and summer I'm going to go in one of these walks as well. And I think there are other walks which I want to go to. There's a Scion Park in near. So that park, Scion Park, is apparently in a waterlogged area, and it has a lot of swamp trees. And they've built like a huge elevated trail that people can walk on. Right.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay.
I wanted to go there and see what, how it is done and what's involved up there and what kind of trees and plants are there. So we can see. Scion Park is quite near, it's just off of Princeton. So if you look at like the name Scion Park and then you search Princeton, I think it should give the town name. It's not actually in Princeton, but it's just off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Pravesh.
they have sounds similar to like Cheesequake Park.
Yes, quite similar too. So we'll do that, and then I want to introduce that into our township trails as well. So just along that, you do some activities, we can do some tree identifications or plant identification walks.
That would be really cool. I like that. Okay.
And I was thinking at Nathan Williams, even if all we could get in was like a T, like I'll point in and then go to the left and the right, like, just like something where they can, Firefly
hike. So the EC is still interested in the partnership. We won't talk about it at this meeting because we still have some time. But But yeah, they're super excited, and they're actually trying to amend our township's lighting ordinance to, instead of following the ICLEI rules, like the International Engineering Lighting and Illumination standards, to follow the recommendations through the Dark Skies organization. And they're really, yeah, that's one of their main projects for this year. That's their project through the local health assessment, is to basically improve light pollution, and the way they want to approach it is by amending the lighting ordinance. So they're working on that. So the Firefly Walk, they're very geared up for. So they said just tell them what to do, and they will be there. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Very cool.
All right, Firefly Walk, that's a
Yeah.
big.
And then we kind of talked about ideas for the spring already.
We have a couple on.
Yeah.
We have the May, we have the April, May, 2 in April and 1 in May.
Trail walk,
So we're
trail.
good. And any trail updates? Anything you need to report?
Last 2 weekends, I haven't been able to get out there. It's raining and stuff, and
Oh, I know.
Even my 5th April hike didn't happen because it was a wet weekend, completely wet.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then we had to cancel.
That's understood. This
Oh,
weather has
right.
not been friendly. It has not been
Rush
friendly.
hours, right?
It's been cold.
It's cold too, yeah.
That's a problem.
I did get out to Negri. I walked all the way through. Well, I went down to the burb line. It was empty, as I showed you in that picture. It's much more advanced now. I went straight up the hill, and there's that little wooded area that's a zip, a circle. And I got in there, and not that you can't get lost in there, but the trail is gone. I'm like, oh, where's the trail? Okay, I can't find the trail. So maybe in the fall or in winter, when there's less invasive plants all around and you can actually traverse it easier, I would like us to get in there and trim and just reconfigure where that loop was. Because I had mapped it out originally when we did our GPS thing for the town.
Yes.
But I just couldn't figure it out when I was in there. And there's that sunset bench on the opposite side, where behind there is an entrance to the red trail. And there used to be a plank of wood, so you could get over that little stream. That plank of wood is no longer there. Someone put down a fallen log. A fallen log is about this big, so I did not feel safe to traverse the
Right.
So I went upstream, which you can only do like a couple of weeks ago before the shrubs started to green up, because I had to like push away the sticker bushes and then do the leap over. So we might think about that. And then that needs to be retrailed as well, because that was
Okay. All right.
everything. And the benches were horrendous. So I'm hoping that the 3 benches they've chosen are the ones that are on the other side.
Okay. Thank you.
I was at Middlebush, and they did a good job. They're cutting these stalks back by the tennis court. So they went about 10 feet in, and then it starts to slope down. So they're just kind of like clearing that out.
Oh.
You know where the
Okay.
tennis courts are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tennis courts.
Up, kind of like the middle level.
Okay.
Behind the tennis courts, there's always stocks and things like that, so they cut that down. And also over by the lower softball field, someone had smashed a mirror there. We're talking a big mirror, so I just went there yesterday, so I don't know if that would be Parks and Rec to
was that,
to
Jim?
pick it up.
Oh.
like
Because
Behind
with
the
the softball field to the right where you go by the
Yes.
reeds and the.
What I'm about to tell you is gonna sound dumb. It's the truth. It really is the truth. You're gonna have to call, make a police report about that, or I will call and do it. But they can't pick it up unless there's a police report.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it is, but that's what I've been told. Yes, I'll do it. Where is it?
All
By
right.
the tennis court, you said?
No, that's down by the lower softball field,
Okay.
and it's towards the right. You know, it's kind of like if you walked around the outfield, and then you got to the part where the reeds kind of break apart, and then you kind of go through that area.
Okay, all right. All right. Yeah. Okay, I will take care of
Some of
it.
it's just smashed.
I just want to add something about Negri. This is the first time they've gone in there and they chopped down fields they hadn't been in a long time. So there were fields that had shrubs that were this high, which are now leveled.
Yes.
It was shocking when I walked.
I saw that too. I was shocked when I walked by it.
And I just want to say that we're in the Trails Committee. I never know what to expect when I go out there.
Yes, when I saw that, I was
I
surprised
was
too.
wondering if there's
Yeah.
any more communication or something, because you go out there and those shrubs have been there a long time. I didn't know, just obliterated. So it just would be nice to know what's going on.
And you think they should not have been?
I don't know We really have,
I mean, who makes the decision to actually
right.
cut those plants or not cut them? Who makes the choice?
Well, I know, Em, you've been advocating for them to mow there for a long time.
Yeah, so they mowed. We asked them to mow, and they took that as
So what have you
happened.
mowed?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
They mowed
There's
it.
no one there who actually takes a look at the plants and decides. So I'm just asking.
We can, if we are averse to, we don't want this mowed, we can absolutely put together a map for DPW and say, we want you to not mow here, be careful. Chuck did that with the demonstration plots. He made a map.
It didn't work.
It didn't. They went over them anyway, yes.
So I didn't know if there had been a decision somewhere else to mow everything else. That's what I mean, I didn't know.
It was just that it needs to be mowed because we couldn't get the burn done this year. So, it was that it needs to be mowed, and I guess when the order to mow went out, it was like, level it.
They mowed.
Yeah.
They mowed.
That was a good word for it, shocking. When I went out there, it was like, what the heck happened here? Especially all like
I'm not sure what you're talking
Even
about.
the
Oh.
bushes and shrubs with,
and all the woody pieces from it are just like strewn about. Like it looks like, it's like a
Like
murder
when they
happened.
throw a wood chipper?
Yes, like a murder happened, yeah. A murder of shrubs.
So, okay, so maybe we could talk, next time we could talk about what we can do to
Yeah, why would
manage,
the shrubs?
have like some general understanding about what should not be mowed.
Yes.
Like I understand the confusion with the ornamental gardens, but it sounds
Right.
like major shrubs, things that need a wood chipper shouldn't be.
Yeah, that was shocking.
and I didn't know if that was in a plan.
No.
But I know Chris Williams also said that some trees had grown up where they should have never grown.
That came from that. It was like mow, and then he's like, they need to go back in and take down some of the trees. And I think instead of going tree by tree, it was just like whoosh.
It's like a Lorax.
Yes,
Well, we
yes.
gotta do signs like, was it between highways?
That's the
was
next
do not
agenda,
mow,
like
wildflowers?
instruction.
What was that? Yeah.
Okay.
It does say something.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
With no further updates, my trails are okay. Some parking lot stuff that I've shared. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing no objections or nays, motion carried.